Greetings and good time zone. I hope people are doing well today. I'm trying to remember what we... Oh yeah, we murdered the Adeptus Mechanicus. Because of Pascal. So that's pretty fun. And yeah, did we get anything? I think we just got a normal Omniscient Axe off of him. That's actually got really good damage. I think I'm going to put this stub carbine into the cargo. Let's see. I haven't really checked weapons fully in a while. I gave him a plasma gun instead of plasma pistol so I could replace this. Now he has 143 tech, which is pretty good. Okay. I'm really worried about this provoking attacks of opportunity because it uses the AoE. But hopefully he'll never have to deal with it. Because he's ranged now.
I always have a backup plan.
Let's go back to the bridge. Worship of the God Emperor is the central pillar of the Imperium of Man. Each day, trillions of people across 1 million worlds live, toil, and die in his name. Okay, we're on the bridge. Don't think there's anyone... Oh, I need to talk to Heinrichs, I know that. Let's go talk to Abelard.
Lord Captain.
Okay.
Lord Captain.
Need to talk to you. Let's go and talk to Cassia.
What?
Nope.
I have enjoyed.
Argenta.
Greetings.
Nope. I need to talk to Heinrichs and I definitely need to talk to Pascal. I just hope it's voice acted.
To what do I owe this visit?
Are you satisfied with the results of your mission on Kiava Gamma?
More than. The data we retrieved is already in the hands of the Inquisition, in the custody of those who can extract the secrets of the future from the claws of chaos. The sacrifices made to the Cogitator will not have been for nothing. We dealt a blow not only to the cultists, but to the archenemy itself. I cannot help but be pleased. However, there is something I must tell you. Back there, at the Cogitator, my decision to let it complete its operation allowed me to... I can't even find words, to perceive something of what is to come. You deserve to know this. The cult is threatening the worlds within your protectorate, after all. I could choose to think of it as an echo of the past, or a specter of the future. But that's not it. Warp sorcery joins stretches of time together, violating the accepted sequence and flow of events. I heard a resonance of the person behind the cult. I faced demons more than once before, but this? I couldn't have imagined such a concentration of evil and corruption. I am convinced that one of the greater demons is behind the cult of the Final Dawn. Beware the day when that demon finds a way to appear in this world.
Okay. Oh, there's a chance I could fail. Don't ex-com me. Touching the Cogitator did something to you? I want to know what.
No servant of the God Emperor has closer dealings with corruption than the agents of the Golden Throne. In its quest to guard the Imperium against its foes' most devious and secret schemes, the Inquisition seeks to understand the essence of evil. It is not enough for us to burn or cut down a rotten seedling. We must study it, understand it, touch it. Every time any of us do our duty, we are risking our very souls. But when it comes to Psykers, the soul of a Psyker is especially enticing to the archenemy.
Yep.
I was operating the machine created by the servants of the archenemy, and in doing so, I attracted the attention of the cult's master. Thank the throne that it was only a glancing touch. If it hadn't been, we would not be speaking here today. When I touched the cult's cogitator, I drew the thousand-eye gaze of evil upon myself, as any agent does when they interfere in the schemes of those who serve the ruinous powers. And that evil undoubtedly left an invisible mark upon me, as it does on any acolyte who fights against the archenemy. And this will be the case every time I do my duty. I know a good deal about the fates of those who have served the throne before me. Enough to know that my path leads to one place, and one place only.
What are you going to do next?
My visit to Kiava Gamma did not produce answers to all my questions, but we did succeed in dealing a blow to the cult by destroying the Fabricator Sensor's machine. I have directed my spies to track the sect's surviving leaders. I am certain that they will have useful information for us soon. Though small, this is a victory for the Golden Throne, and I have you to thank for it.
I think that will be all for now. I don't want to get rid of him. He's my healer.
Thank you for finding the time for our conversation.
Okay. Just out of interest, I want to talk to High Factotum, just to see if there's anything new. Okay. Oh, wait. Vigdis, where are you? Have the Vox spirits brought anything interesting lately? Nothing. Execute this person. Bravo. Okay. Iliet. Ooh. Iliet's lithe form stands frozen in an unnatural pose amid the blinking lumens and dancing shadows of the bridge. Her hands are clasped together strangely, and her eyes are tightly closed. Her chest is utterly still, as if she's not breathing at all. I'm going to observe silently. Iliet remains unmoving the entire time that you watch her, and only the barest flicker of her eyes beneath her closed lids lets you know that she is still alive at least. Wait a while. For the first time, Iliet takes a deep breath in through her nose and barely audibly exhales. Her body remains as relaxed as ever, and her eyes are still closed. Your presence does not seem to be in any way distracting for her. The fact that it's not distracting, I'm going to do this. This is the meditation you told me about, isn't it? Iliet's face remains impassive, almost serene. The only movement comes from her hands, which intertwine smoothly, forming a new intricate gesture. She still does not hear your words or is choosing to ignore them. Sit down beside her and wait. It seems this is going to take a while. You find a somewhat comfortable spot and get yourself settled. Iliet still does not react to your presence, and as time passes, you begin to sink into your own thoughts. Willpower test succeeded? Oh, thanks, Idira. The gilded chrono in your hands tells you that 2 watch hours have already elapsed. Your muscles feel stiff, and your head feels heavy on your neck. When you next glance around the small section of the bridge that Iliet has adapted for her own use, you catch someone's sharp, attentive gaze.
You are still here, Elentark.
Iliet's words do not sound like a question or an expression of surprise. Her eyes quickly sweep over you and she nods in greeting. You were deep in a special Eldari meditation, weren't you?
Yes. I am sometimes surprised by the depth of your knowledge of my kind's customs, Elentark. But even if listening is your only skill, that in itself elevates you above billions of other monkey. My meditation is immersion. Immersion into myself, my inner world. It is my chance to speak to myself, but without words, or to heal wounds that cannot be seen with ordinary sight. It is difficult to explain, even in the language of the children of Asurian. There are so many meanings and shades in its sound alone, and the monkey tongue is too sparse and awkward. No. Immersion must be seen to be realized. I should say, Elentark, that during meditation, the mind does not leave the body. Part of it remains vigilant, monitoring what is taking place outside. So I heard every word you said, and I saw everything you did. Restraint is not a trait that your kind is known for. And yet, you did not interrupt my immersion, Elentark. A worthy act. I will remember this.
Iliet nods to you, curtly but gratefully. I'm not gonna... This seems arsehole-ish. This one especially. We have pressing matters to discuss. Iliet nods wordlessly. Leave. That was a fun moment. I guess we can go and talk to Jay.
May the Exalted One protect you. Have you grown bored with our little talk, Sharif?
Bye.
Oh,
Let's go and talk to Idira next to the still T-posing servitors. Apparently, well, not apparently, there was a patch yesterday after my stream, and apparently they've fixed a bunch of things. But I don't think they've fixed some of my issues. Like, not Killing Edge. The one that Pascal had. Where is Pascal? Oh, there he is.
My apologies. 19% of my processing power is engaged in the analysis of my tech comrade's memory. My response time may be longer than usual.
Have you found anything out?
The data is scarce. His identification code is the same as mine, and his memory contains data confirming that the assassination did take place. Unfortunately, some of his memory was damaged by pulses broadcast by his battle harness. I can assert with some confidence that he was who he claimed to be, and that he served the Deus Mechanicus earnestly and eagerly.
He gave off the impression of a paranoid madman.
Notwithstanding his permanent state of agony, he was not cognitively dysfunctional. His desire to immediately destroy the object he had deemed profane was partly dictated by his engrammatic augmentics, which were receiving imperatives from his battle harness. In light of the oddness of our matching identification codes, I find merit in his hypothesis as to the existence of a clandestine malevolent agent, or conspiracy operating inside our fraternity.
Who do you think was behind the assassination?
No data available. I will hypothesize that the assassination was instigated by an enemy of the Blessed Amanat's doctrine. I accept the possibility that the assassins were targeting me, only to be led astray by Tarsus and my own identical identifiers. I am concerned about the fate of Archmagus Amanat. According to Opticon 2-2, he went missing in the wake of the incident on an Arch Mechanicus, the Hermetico. Information about that ship and its perishing has been purged from the archives. I accept the possibility that the incident on the ship, the concealed data, and the assassination have all been part of a single conspiracy.
Are you not surprised that Amanat's words had such an effect on Opticon 2-2?
I was not knowledgeable as to how popular Blessed Amanat's teaching was in exploratory circles. The Cognizance fleet is massive. His ideas might have found a larger following on its periphery than in the Mother Squadron.
Amanat was a believer and he caused a schism. Tarsus was a believer and he turned into a zealot. Faith can be dangerous.
Of course, faith is dangerous. Faith is the prerogative of the spirit, and a spiritless mind is an enemy of all existence. Without faith, there is no meaning in anything, no point to any aspirations or limitations. But faith can take different forms. The form of prohibitions established by unknown elders. The form of an audacious violation of those prohibitions. The form of following dogma or of schism. The form of following the cycle or of discontinuing the cycle. In a system with two courses of action, schism is inevitable. And only one of these paths will be true, as truth is discreetly separate from untruth.
Pascal's visor seems to almost pierce you with its glow. Did Amanat believe the elders to be in error?
Amanat did not reject any one specific prohibition, but found their cumulative effect to be oppressive. The system of rigid limitations had confined seekers of knowledge to a circular track, spelling doom for the thinking mind. And that cycle of repetition had to be broken. That was why he was dubbed the Messiah of Discontinuing.
Honestly, 3 or 4, I think. I prefer to believe in myself and my own ability to decide independently what is right.
Comprehension is the true path to knowledge, and comprehension can only be attained individually, not taken for granted. Your path commands respect.
Pascal's voice takes on a thoughtful tone, and its otherworldly might peters out. Perhaps you will be able to find out more.
I will continue my research into the Blessed Martyr's memory with all due reverence.
Have you studied the Mensa's neural augmetic yet?
I have destroyed it.
Oh. A slight telltale rattle in Pascal's voice makes him sound unconvincing. You're lying.
statement is true. I am yet to settle into a definitive course of action. I am running a spot diagnostic on the memory of the heretic Demens. Even though purity protocols stipulate that his blasphemous knowledge must be eradicated, I am not drawn toward forbidden information, but only to data concerning the blessed Amanat.
Have you found out anything?
The success has been partial. Demens Haneman's identity has been confirmed. The widespread influence of paranoid motivations is observable in his cognitive processes, which is what seems to have caused him to break his vows. However, extensive regions of his memory have been damaged by forbidden technologies and are, for now, defying decryption. My study of the minds of the tech comrades, Abel, Tarsus, and Demens, has revealed an anomalous similarity between the patterns of damage their memories sustained. What I attributed to cognitive idiosyncrasies, synaptic damage, and the distortive action of scrap code may be the result of a different kind of influence. The undecryptable data fragments in their memory arrays are mysteriously symmetrical.
What corrupted Demens?
An echo of the warp. Energies of the immaterium that had seeped into real space and taken the shape of a Vox signal. I have found recorded cases of similarly induced corruption in the archive. Listening to the void is a perilous occupation.
You did want to know what he knew. You were interested.
The quest for knowledge is our mission of highest priority. But what Demens promised was not knowledge, but a distorted copy of it. This was not what the Deus Mechanicus had told us to seek.
Any information on Archimagos Amanat?
The data discovered is unreadable. It is encrypted, albeit only partially. And I hypothesize that the heretic Demens was attempting to decrypt it. I will take every effort to extract a larger volume of data. Information pointing to the unit referred to as the Maimed Hunter is alleged to be of critical significance.
Has it ever occurred to you that all these events may be part of Amanat's plan?
That is a valid hypothesis, but not a very likely one. Its truth value is irrelevant, as it does not contradict the necessity of establishing the fate of Archmagus Amanat.
You fear knowledge even as you extol it. Continue your research.
Response: affirmative. The decryption will continue with diligence and caution.
I must take my leave.
May your labors be effective and
And
fruitful.
fruitful. Let's go and talk to Abel, see if they want to say anything. Okay. Nothing new. Is there anyone else I haven't talked to? No. Back to the map after quick saving, because I don't want to go through all of that again. Okay. Oh, you finished this? Epiphany. If the wielder kills an enemy with charge, this ability has no cooldown. Okay. Oh, good tidings. Do I even have any dogmatic rank right now? I think I have one. Need 45. I get +1 action point now, which is awesome. Oh, I got Cemetery of the Faithful. So I choose you or you? But I need efficiency for this. People... I don't think efficiency is one of these resources. I think it's literally just... having an efficiency of 0. Places for all colonies. You know what? Screw it. Ooh. Troubling news arrived from Janus, your lordship. While digging an irrigation ditch, the workers found a Xeno obelisk made of unknown material. It was delivered to a laboratorium and subjected to a number of tests, one of which caused a reaction. The obelisk generated a low-frequency vibration, and the events that followed were catastrophic. A series of anomalies were recorded in the Epsilon 2 Majoris region. It is almost like Janus itself is fighting us there. Many logistical chains have been disrupted. The only people who visit the uncontrolled territory are the wretches fleeing deeper into the region in greater and greater numbers. The observers report strange fires in the sky at night, completely imperceptible to the augurs. Esteemed requisitors are gathering freemen and daredevils for an expedition into the heart of the region. They assume a priceless trove of xenomechanisms is waiting for them inside. You will gain Janus Warlord. Ooh, torpedo launchers. I don't have them yet. Where it kills an enemy or scores a critical hit, they gain +2 movement points on their next turn. Torpedo tubes capable of firing 4 Eldari sonic torpedoes with 30 damage warheads. Okay. Janus Warlord. The rogue trader gains +10 fellowship, +5 weapon skill, and +5 ballistic skill. But it's red. Why? What exactly is happening there? The vegetation demonstrated a remarkable ability for wild growth. It took the plants only 2 days to overrun the agri-complexes in the region. Extinct species of local megafauna have been spotted in the newly formed jungle, aggressive and acting in unnatural cohesion. How are the wretches involved? We do not know. It is as if they all received a signal telling them to abandon their work and rush deeper into the afflicted territory. Some were stopped by the watchmen appointed by your order. Unfortunately, about 100 still made their way into the region. Permission to advise granted. I await your proposals. The nature of Janus is rising up. It is a lucky coincidence that Janus harbours specialists who are not only experts on controlling life, but on destroying it as well. Even though reports from the Magos Biologis Capella bear no mention of the storage of weapons of mass destruction, I have no doubt that they do possess some. They always have some lying around. I see no reason not to let them use them against this, whatever it is. Deployment of fortified research stations in the affected sectors is recommended. The benefit of gathering more information justifies the increased casualty rate among personnel. The sickly creatures know more about this pestilent growth than we do. Something we must amend quickly. We should catch some mutants and force them to cooperate. That way we can learn what it is we are dealing with. Oh, it can be equipped. I kind of don't care about that then. I do kind of want some torpedo launchers. Still don't know why it's reddened out. Set up research outposts in the affected sector. May the Omnissiah be merciful to the souls who will give their lives in the name of obtaining knowledge. The scouts who ventured into the heart of the afflicted region discovered ancient Xenos creations emerging from the ground. The afflicted region reacted to the incursion by expanding and swallowing up some of the neighbouring agri-complexes. Fortified observation stations were set up in the largest clusters of ruins. The priceless data and artifacts collected there were paid for with the lives of the many watchmen who fought against the onslaught of Janus's enraged wilds. Cool. Effectively removes traumas. Yay! And I think it keeps going. Because it's replenishing. I just don't know when it replenishes. Okay. Efficiency for all colonies. Oh Jesus, I have so much Promethium right now. I have 10 chemicals too, okay. I hope you can't hear that outside my window. My neighbour's doing some work. And it's loud. Forest fortresses. +1 damage per character in the party. I like it how it's just called melee. Hang on, I just need to see what they're doing because it's loud. Okay, he's just drilling into the wall, but it's right near my room. Can be equipped. A -30% penalty to dodge. Okay. This doesn't... Oh, wait. The following project must be completed. Okay. It blocks the other things. I kind of want to get melee for someone. It's also one-handed. Jesus. Okay. I'm going to execute that. Kiava Gamma. Ooh. Lord Captain, the Tech Priests have made a sinister discovery on Kiava Gamma. A blasphemous machine built in at the behest of the wicked cubist Delphine. This mechanism is capable of picking up the whispers of the warp. It seems to occasionally transmit a discordant binaric melody into nowhere, but no encrypted data or other threats have been detected. It seems to be a functional side effect of sorts. Of course, the idea of using a machine instead of astropaths to contact the voices of the warp may seem tempting, but this machine is teeming with corruption. Its fuel tanks are satiated with the liquefied souls of your subjects. It has enough for now, but someday it will have to be refilled. What? Okay. How could Cubis construct such a powerful and monstrous machine? Defying the dictums of the Omnisire, the heretic had entered into a dangerous field of experimentation with the warp technology. It is dangerous knowledge, but the ancient and incredibly complex vox core of the mechanism is much older than Delphim is. He had probably found it here and made use of it to fulfill his needs. What are the risks of using this machine? Typical of contact with the Immaterium. It intercepts information from the warp, which puts the minds and souls of the staff serving the machine in jeopardy. The warp is treacherous. The Worldly Observer. All allies gain +7 awareness. Okay. We'll gain security and efficiency, so that's losing complacency and gaining security. Imperium Transceiver. Whenever the wearer is targeted by an ally's ability, the wearer gains allies fellowship bonus temporary wounds. No. I like the idea of more awareness on people. But I also like the idea of getting security and efficiency. What does my retinue think about this? On behalf of the Inquisition, I hereby declare a ban on any contact with this device. It must be removed and given to our acolytes. Normally that would be all, but I will explain further, out of respect for you. The Inquisition can reap benefits from this heretical machine. Our trained acolytes are able to carry a vigil near it, carefully listening to the dark whispers of the spirits of the Immaterium, without succumbing to their corruption. We could discover their plans and warn the rogue trader whenever any threat would loom over his domain. The demons wanted us to hear their vile speeches. Let them hear our righteous cry. Zera, let me summon the most zealous preachers who would dedicate their lives and zeal to reading a litany of fury and rage to this machine. Let the inhabitants of the warp hear us and fear us. This blasphemous creation has to be anathematized and deconstructed. In the name of total knowledge acquisition, the principles of its work must be inspected beforehand in great secrecy, requesting the right to investigate the heretical device before disposing of it. Oh, they offered more options. Oh. So he offered it without the negative. 7 persuasion. Well, the persuasion I could do with. And the RP. Okay. I think I'm going to go with Argenta to get the RP. Then so be it, Argenta. Shake the warp with a wrathful sermon in honor of the Emperor. May the wicked cower in fear. The invited preachers, strict and stern, have started to take shifts, reciting a formidable litany about the inevitable victory of the Emperor into the Voxcaster. Their angry words flew straight into the Immaterium, reverberated in the ears of the spirits that inhabited it, unable to hide from this righteous diatribe. If one of the preachers would die, another one would take his place, and there was no shortage of the volunteers. And we get the Dark Marquesa, because this thing doesn't overheat if I remember correctly. This plasma rifle never overheats, which means you can overcharge it. Deals 75% extra damage, yet overheats plasma weapon for 2 turns. No, it doesn't. Okay. Mag trains gives me mechanisms and profit factor. Lord Captain's void ship gains the Metal of Metal feature. Ooh, more hull integrity. I want this, but I need efficiency. Crap. Ooh, this will give people. This will give people. Do it. Also, nothing is cancelling out the others. Okay. I need efficiency. I need more explorators. Efficiency for all colonies, cool. But I need efficiency to do it. Need mechanisms then. Oh, this will give me mechanisms. Then I'll be able to do Chapel of Enumeration. It's a lot of plasteel. The Lord Captain's void ship gains the Armoured Prow feature. This front-focused armour design concentrates the thickest adamantine armour plates in the ship's prow compartment, allowing the ship to break through heavy enemy fire during a relentless push. The ram of the flagship causes internal fires. The number of fires depends on the size of the target. Ooh. Oh, I like that. Big gun. -10 to evasion is also pretty good. But I think I'd go for Titan Forge lance weapon. I need flawless servitors then. Okay, which means I need more efficiency. What is my efficiency on this place? 0. Okay. Wait, I never scanned Dargonas, did I? Administratum. J. Oh, J wants to. Oh, God. I'm going to go to the Von Valancia's palace. I will go to the Administratum with J, which means I'll have to level her up. I just don't care. Who'd I replace? Honestly, I'd want to replace myself. Is anyone going to try and assassinate us this time? Damn, we look good. Clementia Versarian. The Emperor protects. Welcome home, your lordship. The stately woman in a long full dress uniform makes a graceful curtsy. Her short greying hair does not obscure her stern features. I am Clementia Versarian, Court Chancellor of the von Valancius dynasty. On behalf of all Dargonus, please accept my deepest condolences on the untimely passing of Theodora von Valancius. Her departure is a terrible blow to us all. But as one star expires, another always flares to life. And although still overcome with bitterness and grief, your subjects hope that you will become the Trade dynasty's guiding light in these trying times. Clementia, Abelard offers a reserved nod. She nods in return, and the lines on her brow soften ever so slightly. The young man quickly brings a respirator to his burnt face and bows his head courteously. His raven black hair veils his burns and skull implants, and his thin metal fingers creak quietly as he offers a welcoming gesture. Achilles Scalander, Secretary at the Administratum Department, I hope your journey to Dargonus was not darkened by unwanted troubles. The Emperor protected us on our journey through the stars. Achilles makes the sign of the Aquila, and may he remain merciful till the end of time, or to us till the end of time. Does your lordship wish to survey the grounds, or perhaps we could sate your curiosity by answering any questions you might have? Governor Urbant Drivestem has been notified of your arrival on Dargonus and will visit the palace shortly. The preparations for the official visit are well in hand, but your lordship still has plenty of time before the meeting. Hold on a moment, Clementia. What did you say your last name was? Clementia nods politely. You heard correctly, your lordship. I am of House Versarian, Lord Abelard's granddaughter and direct descendant. The succession of service is an effective good. It grants new generations understanding of their function within the mechanism. Chancellor Versarian has held her position at the von Valancius court for many years. She earned Lord Captain Theodora's respect through acts of great perseverance. There's no room for doubt. Blood had nothing to do with it. The Emperor blesses those who strengthen humanity's domain through their deeds. You have reason to be proud of your progeny. Abelard looks at you in surprise, but then immediately puts on an air of indifference. Thank you, Lord Captain. Why isn't the governor here with you to greet me? Apologies, your lordship. Governor Drivestem's residence is on the other side of the world, by the administrative palace of Dargonus. We sent word as soon as you entered the system, but it takes time to travel the great distances of your domain. Ooh. Chancellor Versarion appears unruffled, but you cannot shake the thought that the governor's lateness is a subtle political gesture designed to test the limits of what is acceptable when it comes to interacting with the new rogue trader. I would like to rest before the meeting. Where are my chambers? They are very close, just down the hall. That is also where the study and the audience chamber are. Achilles' face brightens with a pearly white smile, restoring some of his former good looks. Lady Theodora's study has remained locked since her last departure, but on account of your arrival, we've arranged for it to be tidied up. It is ready whenever you may need it. You are dismissed. I apologize for my bluntness, but I have a request to make. Perhaps before the meeting takes place, the illustrious Lord Captain could spare a few minutes for a conversation with me? Achilles bows his head. I'm certain that you will find my report on the state of affairs in the Von Valancius Protectorate most useful. Okay. Oh, the party's split up. I'm on my own. There are goods. There are goods. Where are the goods? There. Tech use 100%. I think it's still using my party. Toss a coin.
This is intriguing.
Glinting in the light, the coin falls into the clear water and sinks to the bottom. Oh. Okay. Wait. Oh, there she is. Such illustrious society. Such well-heeled nobles indeed. It would be worth visiting Dargonus even without getting to know you, Shireen. This world offers huge scope for doing business. Okay, hi Iliet. The walls of your home suffocate me, Elantak. I long to leave this twisted world at the first opportunity. Sure, after I've looted everything. Head of Yanis's delegation. The Yanis delegation salutes you, your lordship. Loot! And an ad break. So I'm just going to wander around during it. In fact, no, I'm going to quick save. And I'm going to wait, just in case I get an ambush or something stupid. And I'm going to have some chocolate. Do. Oh, that's what's happening. I wondered what this was. Everyone's getting persuasion. Oh, maybe I should actually level up Jay right now. Should honestly level them all up, just in case. What was it? 3 level up 28 other characters. Yeah, I'm just gonna get this out of the way. Okay. Awareness. You already have Death Whisper. Let's get you Killing Edge. Then Perfect Opening. Wow, you have nothing. Let's get you Intelligence. Or Agility. No, let's get you Intelligence. Weapon are you using? Laz. Exotic. You already have it, never mind. Okay. In that case, let me give you perception training. I'm going to actually go for, where is it? For every 10 damage dealt by an assassin's attack, it also deals direct damage. I'm going to do Deadly Calculation. Guess Agility. Let's get you more awareness. More damage, essentially. We've got that. To perception. Dodge reduction equal to ballistic skill. Okay. In my sights is a special thing that she has. Where is it? If she has anything else, no. I mean, is it lethality? Yeah. Okay. He's so far behind. Holy shit. I don't even know how I want to build her. Oh, I get to choose one of these. I guess press the advantage for her. Like, she's an officer. I didn't get to choose anything of hers. I haven't taken her on a single fight yet. I don't want to do grand strategists. I don't like placing things on the floor. So let's do Master Tactician, because I'm probably going to respec Idera. Inspire. Let's assign objective. Oh, that's pretty good. Just gonna do Inspire because it's more damage. Then let's do Hidden Advantage. I think it's based off of Fellowship. Yeah. She has quite a lot of ballistic skill. So let's get her more Fellowship. Even more Fellowship. There are some talents that are based off of Inspire. Here we are, the first ability. Okay. Oh, that's some healing. Whenever an ally grants the Master Tactician stacks of tactical advantage, that ally also heals 1 wound for every stack granted. So I need to find more things that support that. Wait. 1 additional damage? Ooh. Okay, that's pretty good. I need to get that on Cassia. I'll do assigned objective. Every enemy hit by the Master Tactician's attack, the Master Tactician gains 1 stack of tactical advantage. I'm going to take in the hero's footsteps. And you, Lore Imperium, Jesus, I did not realize. Your toughness is rather low. What weapons did you have? 2 blasters and then 2... Okay. 2 melee weapons. Better do agility, actually. Get her acting sooner. This is exotic. Power, chain. She has like everything. Humanity's finest. This gives everyone. I honestly don't really know what to get her. She can't use heavy weapons. I think I'm just going to get her Lore Imperium. Can I apply that? Just so I know what I've got? No. Okay. I'm going to say I don't even have a linchpin, but I can take it? It's listing stuff that I already have. She doesn't kill them. I'm going to do whenever the Master Tactician heals an ally, that ally gains +1 resolve, because I have one that's doing that. Oh wait. That's why it wasn't doing it. Because I'd not selected you. Yeah, whatever. Now, what was it? Yeah. Because comfort in conformity. How does this work? Master Tactician gains +1 stack of tactical advantage per every 5 momentum gained by the Master Tactician or their allies. The Master Tactician begins combat. Okay. So whenever they get 5 of momentum, she gets a stack of tactical advantage, and then she'll heal them, which will also give them +1 resolve, which lets them get more momentum, which then heals them. Okay. Law Imperium. More agility, so she acts first. Special ability. This just seems so good. But then again, what was this? It was this one, wasn't it? All allies, including the Master Tactician, that have a weapon capable of burst fire, use burst fire instead of a single shot to attack enemies as part of orchestrated firestorm and last volley. Until the beginning of the Master Tactician's next turn, allies automatically dodge all friendly fire. So I'm going to do Nerves of Steel because it means more momentum, which means technically more healing. Fly. And she's now got 60 health. I should probably try and gear her up. Oh, you actually have more stuff now, I think, available. A 120% chance to dodge. There was an Eldari item. Why can't you wear these?
I will not.
Must not have features, so everyone else can wear them except for... Okay. The wearer's melee attacks made against enemies under the effect of exposed weakness decrease the enemy's strength and agility by -10. More ballistic skill. Oh, hang on. You have pistols. You can have that. This is light armor. Medium. Medium, light. You can only wear that. Can't even wear the goddamn boots. You have bring it down. Okay. Type. There we go. That's a little bit easier. Carouse. Let's give you a flame weapon. Why not? Because you don't need these. And maybe... Oh, +10 bonus to Commerce and Law Imperium. You now have 164 Law Imperium. Okay. I guess we'll give you those boots. These gloves allow the wearer to parry melee attacks using their ranged weapon using ballistic skill instead of weapon skill. I'll give you those for now until I find something better. Lord Imperium. Wait. They already benefiting from fellowship? Base value 0. Don't think it's working. The wearer's Lore Imperium tests depend on fellowship instead of intelligence. Don't think it's even taking effect. Hang on. 24. Oh, fellowship. It's already taking effect. From something else, I guess. Oh, maybe I'll give her commerce. This helmet also grants a bonus to fellowship equal to 2 times iconoclast rank. 75 fellowship. 79. Okay. And it gives her more armor. I'll keep that. Logic. May. There was. Where was it? Was it gloves? Using grenades. She might start using grenades. And then get the cloak that makes her allies immune to it. Oh, that's also good as well. The wearer and their allies are immune to damage from the wearer's grenades. She's just gonna use grenades. Okay. She doesn't have Medicaid. I should have probably done that. Crack grenades. You do not need onslaught. You need more grenades. Yeah. You just need the grenades. I think her weapons are pretty decent as well. What is this order? Oh, wait. Shuriken pistol. She already has one. Splinter pistol. She already has one. That's two-handed. Okay, I think that's her sorted. You just don't have very many options at all. I guess we'll give you that to reload easier. Your intelligence is too high. I think your deer is still okay. Law warp. Screw it. Give you all the law warp stuff. It's not gonna go badly. You have no boots. Okay. The wearer gains perception bonus percent dodge until the start of their next turn for each enemy affected by their side power or psychic staff attacks. Oh yeah. I really don't care about her. All bonuses from the wearer's combat tactics areas are increased by plus 5% for 1 round if the wearer uses a stratagem different from the one used before, or if none were used before it. This effect does not stack. She is someone that can use that. Okay, it's fine. She has sin skin. Her agility is... it says more than 40. So yeah, it wasn't even taking effect. 'Cause it has to be more than 40. So let's give you that instead. I'm not going to level up Idira just yet because I don't know what I'm going to do with her. I want to go and talk to Argenta though. There you are. Glory to the God Emperor. Standing upon the altar is an ancient image of Saint Macarius. Its regal frame is covered in marks. The relic was claimed in a battle on a remote and forgotten world. That's as far as I can go. Leave. I'm guessing other people are inside. Oh, hello. The plaque lists the names of each rogue trader to have led the von Valancius dynasty, dating back to the day the capital world was founded. Okay. There's nothing in here, right? Oh! Nothing of note. So let's go in, I guess. Because there's no one else out here. And I'm gonna have a chocolate. There's skulls in the floor design. Are we the baddies? Whoop. Welcome, your lordship. Let me inform you of the location of the chambers on your dynastic estate. The main throne room is up the stairs and straight ahead. Your subject, Achilles Scalander, informed me that he humbly awaits the opportunity to meet with you there. Oh, they're actually giving me enough time to read it out. If your lordship wishes to rest after your long journey, then your personal chambers are up the stairs and on the right. If you need anything, whatever your soul desires, I'll be right next to your chambers, eagerly awaiting your orders. Yeah, so you're ass kisser. I want you to bring all of the available goods to my quarters, so I may loot them at my own pleasure. Just stealing from myself. Oh, I literally can't go underneath the stairs. Okay. These are my chambers.
What do we have here?
Loot. Iliad awareness test succeeded. He couldn't fail it. Jesus, she really couldn't fail it. Boots. Whenever the wearer moves through a cell occupied by an enemy, the wearer gains plus 15% dodge against that enemy's attacks until the wearer's next turn. So, Dance Macabre. I have no use for it. Oh, I should probably read that. The leather covers bear the names of the authors, most philosophers and theologians from Dargonus. The spines of the books are trimmed with gold. The cogitator is producing rhythmic sounds, among which a faint ringing stands out. The remains of a plaque can be seen on the frame. Alas, the inscription is completely indistinguishable due to the patina. That actually looks really cool. Goods. Okay.
What's a peculiar thing?
Loot, you say? Give it to me. A sturdy safe equipped with several bizarre mechanisms. A multi-melter. Okay. The largest type of melter weapon, usually only employed by the Adeptus Astartes or mounted upon Imperial vehicles. It has a range of 4, max ammo of 4. A lot of damage, a lot of armor pen, and it's all mine. This antique piece of furniture is obviously well cared for, but its surface is still covered with a lot of scuffs, scratches, and stains, traces of the previous rogue traders who sat at this table. Open the door. I'm gonna say, is it gonna load? Oh, okay, that's just huge. See how they did it though. This is just a static image in the background. Then a few modelled buildings, so it looks like it's bigger than it actually is. Forced perspective. Ooh, my bed chamber. This looks like it should be a door. In fact, there is even an outline of a room. By bringing your hand to the scan panel behind the books, you open a hidden door. The bed for the head of a rogue trader dynasty is befitting the status of its owner. Honestly, I'd expect a bed the size of this room. Oh. My favourites. A mysterious item undoubtedly created by inhuman hands. The mysterious Xeno artifact rests in a stasis field. The shelves of the library are laden with dusty tomes. Your eyes linger on the works of several administratum adepts and the memoirs of some unfamiliar explorers of distant death worlds. A mysterious item undoubtedly created by inhuman hands. Loot everything. It's mine by right. Thank you, Theodora, for preparing this for me. Okay, mysterious item undoubtedly created by inhuman hands. There's a lot of these. When the wearer hits an ally with an area attack, the wearer gains +1 stack of Zealot effect until the end of combat. The wearer deals plus 10% damage with their area attacks for each stack of the Zealot effect. These gloves grant the wearer +10 bonus to tech use. They also increase the damage of plasma weapons by +3. Oh, Pascal. Oh, Pascal. I have something for you. Is it them ones? Yes. Yep. 153 tech use. Yep. It's pretty good. Pretty good. And then there was the cloak, right? Zealot cloak. A bit like Argenta. Oh no, I'm keeping the crit hit chance. Oh yes, I'm keeping the crit hit chance. Because you're most likely to actually kill people. An empty glass and 3 unopened bottles of wine sit on a finely crafted table made from dark marbled wood. Crackling and barely audible plaintive melody comes from the old worn speakers. The rare books arrayed on these shelves with their lavish, almost pretentious bindings seem to be identical. The sumptuous couch upholstered in fine cloth that appears garish in the mellow lighting does not look comfortable. Okay, time to sit down and see what this does. This secret room is remarkably quiet and almost homely. Perhaps your predecessor used it when she sought complete solitude. Listening to the muted melody coming from the Vox speaker, you could easily imagine Theodora reading a book with a glass of expensive wine in hand. Choose a book. Several books are stacked next to the sofa. Some appear ancient, while others look like they have never been opened. Among Theodora's data that has been restored using your cogitator is the phrase Litanies of the Motive Force. It is the title of one of the books here. Okay. Choose the book Litanies of the Motive Force. As you pick up the book, a hidden button in its spine clicks under your finger. Have a glass of wine. 3 sealed bottles sit on the sturdy-looking low table. They are labelled Grandmaster's Blood, Boon of Terror, and Flame of Purity. You recall the vision of the past that Idira told you about. She said Theodora's favourite wine was Flame of Purity. I remembered. Pour a glass of Flame of Purity. The wine fills the glass, glittering in the dim light of the room like liquid gold. Its tangy flavour burns your throat, leaving behind a spicy, biting aftertaste. You hear a short, faint hum as an unseen motor stirs into motion. Change the music. The vid screen of the data slate before you displays the names of several Vox symphonies. Ooh. Thank you, Jay. You couldn't fail that if you tried. Just need to reset myself. You recognize the melody that is playing right now. It is the first of 36 parts of Symphony of Honor and Duty. Choose the piece, the Symphony of Honor and Duty Part 2. The music in the speakers momentarily grows louder, filling the entire room, then goes back to normal, seemingly without any change. Ooh. The room responds to your actions with a quiet grinding sound, and a small nook reveals itself in the nearby wall. Inside you find a databank bearing the Von Valancius coat of arms. Ooh. Okay. An engraved data drive found in a cache on Dargonus. The information it contains has been carefully encrypted. Is that actual item? Used to oldest. This. Yeah, the bridge cogitator. Okay. Cool. Is this another door? No. Okay. The guy said he was waiting for my orders. According to the inscription on the statue, this is a gift from House Gaprak to the Von Valancius dynasty. Good. Hi, Cassia. I'm just gonna take this. I mean, it's mine after all by right. My compliments to your taste in art. The collection here is extensive and most interesting.
This is intriguing.
Oh, give me the goods. Give me all of it. I'm so glad it uses my allies' stuff rather than relying on me. Hey, Abelard. While we're on Dargonus, I will check the Secretary's reports and keep an eye on the logisticians. Master Danrock does his job well, but a little scrutiny goes a long way with him. More goods? I have a throne. Hey, Pascal. My appearance has caused a slight disturbance in the ranks of the servants of the Omnisire assigned to the palace. Analysis of the performance of rituals and maintenance litanies has produced a satisfactory result. Idira, I have heard so much about your benevolent deed. It is an honor to speak with you. No, I want Adira. Ah, good old Dargonus. It's boring here without Lady Theodora. She loved to liven up this sleepy little place with a couple of crazy decrees and public floggings of flabbergasted nobles. The von Valancius dynasty throne, a visible symbol of the rogue trader's power, which now belongs to you. Okay, Heinrichs. The lack of observers on this world has led your nobles to become extremely complacent. Today alone, I overheard 3 statements that, if I so wanted, could be turned into grounds for a charge of heresy. So I've talked to all my allies. They just have one-liners. Let's talk to Achilles Scalander. The slender figure, clad in robes made from expensive fabric, shudders from violent coughing. Pressing a gilded respirator to his face, the man takes several deep breaths. Achilles, it's been many moons. I hope your cousin is feeling well. Achilles covers his burnt lips, trying and failing to suppress a coughing fit. She is in good health. She sends her regards to you as well as her wishes for your swift return. Heinrichs frowns. For as long as the stars shine in the sky, my vigil continues. So it does. Achilles thumps himself in the chest with his augmented hand. You hear the clanging of metal against metal. I'm not so foolish as to fail to notice a conversation in code. Your insight deserves credit, rogue trader. Then again, I expected nothing less from Theodora von Valancius' successor. Heinrichs looks at Achilles. Allow me to introduce Achilles Scalander properly. In addition to his duties as Secretary of the Administratum, he acts as an agent of the Golden Throne under my aegis. Master Scalander was transferred into my remit by a colleague who is engaged in other matters in the Cronus Expanse. I'm sure you will find Achilles' service useful, especially when dealing with the schemes of humanity's foes within the borders of your own protectorate. Greetings, Lord Zera von Valancius. Allow me once again to express my deepest condolences on the loss of Lady Theodora. I will do everything I can to track down and destroy all of Conrad Voigtvir's accomplices on the capital world. Do you know anything about what has become of Conrad Voigtvir? The former Master of Whispers is a heretic and a traitor to the dynasty. Achilles nods grimly. Word of his treasons reached Dargonus too late. Conrad came to the planet and left it almost immediately, once he had sown discord in the minds of the gullible and naive. The worst of the rumours he started was that you were the one responsible for Lady Theodora's sudden demise. Of course, your loyal subjects did their best to skin alive any who showed signs of doubt, but it seems unlikely that the Wardens got to everyone who has allowed doubt into their hearts and now nurtures it in secret. You promised me a report on the present state of affairs in the Protectorate. I have already forwarded all official reports to your Seneschal. As for the conversation we're having right now, I wouldn't trust any paper or data slate with its contents. You see, Lady Theodora, may the Emperor have mercy on her soul, was perfectly aware of Dargonus' political environment. You, however, have only just arrived on the capital world, and I thought it would be best to bring you up to speed. Frankly, the nobles of Dargonus, much like nobles on most worlds, are akin to spiders in a jar, ready to pounce on whoever is the weakest, or whomever they deem to be the weakest. The nobles of Dargonus are well-respected, rich and powerful individuals who held Lady Theodora's favour for many years and found ways to rise above the rest by diligently serving the rogue trader. Every family pursues its own selfish interests, and each one expects that with the transition of power, they will retain and even add to their lands and wealth. The families I would recommend giving particular attention to are the Drive Stems and the Gapraks, and the Sauerbachs. I should also mention the Wersarians. Not a noble house per se, but a family that was part of Lady Theodora's inner circle, to the Blue Bloods' great displeasure. Tell me about the drive stems. The drive stems are the ancient governor house of Dargonus. Predictably, the greater the wealth of the von Valancius Protectorate, the fuller their coffers grow. Their reputation is flawless except for one detail. We have evidence that Urbend drive stems rivals seem to have the misfortune of regularly falling victim to Xenos raids. I find that these attacks are always a little too advantageous for the drive stems, but we lack solid proof, and it might never surface. The closer an official is to a rogue trader, the braver and safer they feel. I would just like to remind everyone that rubbing shoulders with Xenos is a heresy that can be overlooked only in the case of the von Valancius heir, not his servant. So he's okay with me because we have a Xenos in the party. What makes the Gaprax special? The Gaprax hail from a remote Forge world, and among their distant relatives there are many servants of the Omnisire, and the house itself is close to the cult of the Adeptus Mechanicus, both in spirit and in their business connections. The Gaprax oversaw the industrial shipments within your protectorate, until recently. Ever since the astropathic communication with Giava Gamma was severed, they've been quite concerned about the security of the planet placed in their care. I've been to Giava Gamma already. The planet was tainted by the cult of the Final Dawn. Achilles shakes his head. These are grim tidings. It's a tragedy that an industrial world of such tremendous capacity was brought down by the pernicious influence of the archenemy. Perhaps my colleagues can pick up the cultists' trail in the cold void. Of course it would be a small consolation to all of us. What can you tell me about House Sauerbach? Religious and hard-working. The Sauerbachs own many enterprises, including distillation manufactorums that produce promethium. I must note that lately members of the Sauerbach family have been prone to overly liberal statements about the von Valancius dynasty. They believe that Lady Theodora is a bit too keen to leave her worlds without proper oversight. I would like to know more about the Wursarians. The Wursarians are a line founded by Lady Theodora's seneschal and as much as nominally considered nobility, at least from the standpoint of the Imperial Navy, from which Lord Abelard hails. On Dargonus, however, their position is precarious. Firstly, they never were granted an official title, a process which has been impeded for decades by the old houses of Dargonus, and secondly, the other families do not see them as equals, but more as upstarts clinging to the road traders' favour. The Wursarians are responsible for the capital world's fleet and the majority of the cargo shipments on domestic routes. After hearing all that, I now feel the urge to have every one of those sycophants executed at once. But who is it talking about? Is it talking about the nobles or the Wursarians? Enough about the nobles. Was there anything else you wanted to report? There was, your lordship, and this time it concerns the main reason for my presence on this planet. Xenos and the threat they pose to both you and to humanity as a whole. The last few months have been difficult for the people who report to me. My eyes and ears scattered throughout the Coronis expanse. Warp disturbances, astropaths overcome with madness, ships disappearing in the immaterium. Many of my observers and contacts have gone dark or have been killed by some calamity or other. Still, I managed to establish communication with some key individuals who were able to warn me about incoming threats, including Xenos raids. Achilles looks you in the eye without blinking. It is within my power to supply you with intelligence on where and when the Xenos will strike next. I do not doubt that Governor Drivestem will beg you for protection against the Xenos, and in this fight the information from my contacts will serve you well. I beseech you, Zera, if I ever report a threat looming over a ship or a planet, do not dismiss it. Sometimes it takes an intervention from the rogue trader and his mighty void ship to avert a disaster. Okay. What are your responsibilities here on Dargonus? Officially, I'm a secretary at this world's administratum department. Less officially, I'm afraid I can't disclose that even to you. In short, I collect and investigate reports of heresy taking root on upstanding planets of humanity. Above all else, I am concerned about the Xenos threat that hangs over the entire Coronis expanse, including your protectorate. Sadly, my mission was complicated by the recent warp disturbances. I am still trying to re-establish contact with many of my agents. Tell me about the Xenos. The residents of the local systems are no strangers to skirmishes with enemies of humanity, but recently the loathsome beasts seem to have completely flown off the handle. We're receiving reports from ships that made it through the warp to Dargonus. Both they and the colonies that they departed from are being attacked. We have identified the breed of Xenos that pose this threat, the Drukhari. Humanity's ancient and insidious foes. Be vigilant on your travels. The Xenos will undoubtedly attack a road trader's ship should they find the circumstances to be in their favour. Unfortunately, in the host of humanity there are those who are willing to grovel before our enemies in the hopes of a valuable reward. You may be interested to know that we are on the trail of such heretics. They're called an ad break, which is about to start. It's funny, the first ad break today went like that. This one's just like, nah. Maybe it's Australian or New Zealand. It's like, nah, yeah. Yeah, nah. Come on. I always hate how long this can take sometimes. I don't want to... There we go. I don't want to start reading anymore because I know as soon as I do, the ad break will start. Do, 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 do. I'm going to have more chocolate because it's a mistake having another tub of sweets next to me. Good thing it's almost empty. Bad thing it's almost empty. Although reading this, I've already been there. Okay. Achilles glances at the data slate. Overwhelming evidence indicates that a marauded void station in Langren's belt is being used as a base by a band of pirates who are not above dealing with Xenos. I was unable to persuade the Chancellor of the need to dispatch a ship there, but perhaps you would like to pay a courtesy call to these scoundrels yourself. Do you know anything about the Cult of the Final Dawn? My knowledge is deplorably limited, your lordship. All my attention has been focused on tracking Xenos activity. I'm certain that Master Van Calox can tell you much more about those heretics than I. About your unofficial work, Achilles' amber eyes flash with interest. Yes. Whom do you truly serve, the rogue trader or the interrogator of the Inquisition? Achilles quickly glances at Heinrichs. And whom does the rogue trader serve? The Golden Throne, the Protectorate? Could it be that one stems from the other? And if so, is there any sense in discussing it? Yeah, you're very good at your job. Yeah, that's not going to happen. But I'm going to click it anyway. I want a list of all your agents and the means to contact them. I can understand your desire as a rogue trader to have everything under your control, and yet I am not at liberty to make use of classified information related to the interrogator's agents in whatever way I see fit. Achilles lowers his gaze and nods politely. Heinrichs let out a sigh of disappointment. There's no point in pressing my agents. None of them would ever reveal such vital information, especially not in my presence. I have learned all I wanted to. Achilles bows and brings the respirator to his burnt lips. I have other questions to ask. I sincerely hope that I can answer every one of them. The scars on your face, what happened? About, he coughs, 5 years ago? There was an accident. Several tanks of promethium exploded in the storehouse at my estate, and I was buried alive under the rubble. The Emperor preserved my soul, and the skilled physicians of Dargonus saved my body, except for my lungs, with which I had to part. I presume the incident was an attempt on my life, but the identity of whoever was behind it remains a mystery. Okay. Must take my leave. Achilles bows. According to the message I received a few minutes ago, Governor Drivestem has arrived at court. I imagine that the Chancellor is already prepared to arrange the meeting. All that's left is to notify her that you are ready to see Urbent. Figured as much. Hey, Wassarian. The other Wassarian. Your Lordship, Clementia bows her head politely. For a Chancellor to a rogue trader, she is dressed rather simply. A parade doublet, or doublet, or doublet, polished boots, and a comfortable cloak. I never know how to pronounce it. I've always said doublet. She bears a sabre in a gilded scabbard. Whether for show or protection, one could not say. Only her ring with the Wersarian coat of arms indicates that she is of the highest social stratum. The governor is waiting on the periphery of the palace. Please let me know when you would like to see him. Not that I could fail it. The sharp gaze, the impeccably straight back, the composure. For a moment you feel like you're looking at a younger version of Abelard himself, not his heir. Judging by the scars on the exposed part of her body, Clementia saw her fair share of combat prior to assuming the position of Chancellor. What are your responsibilities as Chancellor? To put it simply, I am your trade representative. Any and all decrees, deals, official communication and meetings are first reviewed by me and then forwarded to you and from you down the hierarchy. My purview also includes overseeing your lordship's property, the palace, the estates, the many gardens and other domains on Dargonus that you have inherited from Lady Theodora, and whenever you are present on Dargonus, consider me your personal secretary. What can you tell me about Dargonus? All deals and important decisions are made here in the capital. Many years ago, an ancestor of Lady Theodora signed an agreement with the Adeptus Administratum, which allowed for efficient management of the world and the neighbouring systems. In accordance with the decree, a share of the planet's population was assigned to the Administratum and converted into servitor scribes. They now toil across the entire world. Dargonus is also the seat of several noble families who run all the major planets in the Protectorate. If I may express my not-so-humble opinion, they care very little about who exactly stands at the helm. Those piranhas think about their own profits just as much as they do about the prosperity of the Protectorate itself, if not more. And lastly, Dargonus has its own fleet, a luxury unavailable to the vast majority of other worlds in your realm. In addition to warships, the Protectorate also implies privateer ships which are used to transport cargo between worlds. Does the capital stay in contact with the other worlds in the Protectorate? Unfortunately, not at this time, your lordship. After the few representatives of the Adeptus Astra Telepathica on Dargonus went into a frenzy, some of the Psykers were tragically pacified by the respective authorities. Since then, communication with the neighbouring systems has been unreliable at best. Thanks be to the Master of Mankind that you managed to find your way to the capital. If the noble houses are so volatile, what sense is there in keeping them? Over the many centuries, an intricate hierarchy has formed within the ruling elite of Dargonus. The great houses do more than plunder your treasury. It is replenished to a large degree, thanks to their administrative work and their lands. Naturally, you can get rid of anyone whom you consider surplus to requirements, but right now it could threaten the fragile stability that is currently holding the Protectorate together. Are there any other issues I should be aware of? Apart from the disrupted communications, Dargonus was recently raided by enemies of humanity. However, the fleet under the command of Captain Matthias Wersarian triumphed over the accursed Xenos. If you ask for my opinion on this matter, we have the situation completely under control. You catch her avoiding your gaze for just a moment. For the first time, it's obvious that Clementia is looking out for her house's good name, but despite the confidence in her tone, you could tell that she does not entirely believe her own words. Tell me about Governor Drivestem. Urban Drivestem is a well-respected man, and not just on Dargonus, but throughout the Protectorate. For many centuries, his house has supported the capital's administration and the logistics between the von Valancius systems. The Drivestems' efforts secured years of order and prosperity for Dargonus. What's more, Lady Theodora personally insisted that Lord Urban specifically be made their next governor. Oh, she could almost have failed it. The way you speak of Drivestem, I hear a hint of either contempt or resentment. No, No, I don't believe I feel either, your lordship. Clementia's steely eyes stare into the distance, her jaw clenching visibly. She speaks in a polite but clipped manner, clearly flustered by your insight. We have different views on how to run a world. We sometimes have discussions over the laws that are enacted, but we both work for the good of the Von Valancius Protectorate. That much can be said without a doubt. Thank you for your report, Chancellor. I serve the Von Valancius Protectorate, your lordship. Achilles Scalander, does he cause any problems? Why, none at all, your lordship. Secretary Scalander is an outstanding individual and a loyal servant of the Von Valancius dynasty. In Lady Theodora's absence, we collaborated on a number of issues related to the well-being of your domain, and he has proven himself quite capable. And, I don't know why, but even the governor trembles before Achilles, which is unusual for a man of his, shall we say, standing. The last word brings a slight smile to her lips. Yeah, because he knows that the Inquisition will come after him. Tell them that I'm ready to see the governor. Actually, the governor can wait a little longer. I still have matters to take care of. Certainly, your lordship. However, her thin lips twist slightly. I do not concern myself with the governor's feelings, but I must warn you, your action or inaction may be interpreted in a certain way. Now, if your lordship will excuse me, I want to quick save before I do this. It's the only reason. Tell them I'm ready to see the governor. Wait, your lordship, Governor Drivestem is waiting in the audience hall. I advise you to respond to his lateness in kind. That way you can let Urban know that his behaviour has not gone unremarked. But I would not delay too long. Right now, the court is closely observing your every step. The governor can wait a little longer. Tell them I'm ready to see the governor. Clementia bows before leaving. I shall arrange for him to be escorted to your study. And we get warped over there. Zera von Valancius, 20th in his line, rogue trader, keeper of the Sacred Warrant, and ruler of the Coronis Expanse from the Cranach system to the 100 Dreams crossroads. I bid you welcome. And you don't even have a portrait. Which means you're not important. Urban Drivestem, governor of this great world. First and foremost, please accept my deepest condolences. It will be difficult to recover from the loss of a woman as great as Theodora von Valancius. It pains me to think that she is no longer with us. The citizens of Dargonis and of the entire Protectorate grieve alongside you. Please allow us to declare half a year of mourning so that we can honour the memory of our beloved lady. Theodora von Valancius deserves more than that. You will declare a full year of mourning. I will immediately give all necessary instructions, your lordship. He casually presses a few buttons on the cogitator built into his gold bracer. Esteemed Zera, Lady Theodora was a strong leader, and we ought to follow her example. Let us lean on our wisdom and persevere in spite of this tragedy. Together, and let us carry on where she no longer can by leading the Von Valancius Protectorate to even greater prosperity. Alas, it won't be an easy task to accomplish. Some time ago, the astropaths of Dargonis flew into a rage, and they had to be subdued. We are gradually restoring our ability to speak with neighbouring worlds, but the contacts are still weak, and the routes are tangled and no longer lead to the systems that the captains expect them to. Given that the vast majority of ships in the Dargonis Navy travel without relying on the services of navigators, without your engagement, the well-being of the Von Valancius dynasty and billions of its subjects is presently at risk. Conrad Voitvia, former Master of Whispers, is a heretic and a traitor. He has shown his face on Dargonis. The governor pensively strokes the rings glittering on his fingers. Lord Voitvia visited the capital some time ago, but he did not request a personal meeting. A heretic, you say? Now I see where all the whispering in the corridors has come from. I shall be frank with you, your lordship. Lady Theodora's sudden death was a blow to every one of us, and the absence of any sort of verifiable and complete information about her successor gives grounds for all manner of rumours and misinterpretations, especially if someone is deliberately inciting unrest and discontent. Naturally, none would dare challenge you by accusing you of something as sacrilegious as murdering a rogue trader. However, Conrad Voitvia was once a true boon to the Protectorate back in the day, and as such, some might heed his words. Oh God, you could turn them into servitors, Jesus. I'm going to go for Iconoclast. My subject's doubts are understandable. Too many things have changed in too short a span. I will prove myself worthy of my position. Why, Zera, your desire is most commendable, but please do not forget, a ruler should never bow to their attendants, or some might see it as a show of weakness. We met a ship from Dargonus not too long ago. The crew was transporting a strange artifact and went mad during the flight. This is a truly regrettable bit of news. What's more, leaving Dargonus has been forbidden for several cycles now. It seems the Wersarian family has once again failed in their primary responsibilities. He shoots Abelard a condescending look. We will investigate this at once, as well as the fact that the ship had to acquire a permit with the Administratum seal. Does your nephew still serve at the Administrative Palace? You badass. The governor presses a number of buttons on the cogitator built into his bracer and looks up at you in surprise. I don't understand. The ship did indeed depart from orbit, but it did so, if you can believe it, on the rogue trader's authorization. That is why no one dared to impede its departure. Lord Captain, it would seem that Conrad somehow got his hands on a copy of your authorization, or perhaps even the original. A tool like that in the hands of a traitor does not bode well. What exactly do the Dargonus nobility expect from me in light of the loss of routes of communication with other worlds? We are all troubled by the fate of the agri-world Janus that supplied Dargonus and other planets with foodstuffs. Empty stomachs can drive even the mildest rabble to revolt. Furthermore, House Gaprak is perturbed by the loss of communication with the industrial world Kiava Gamma, which is in their charge. But if you wish to know my opinion, the world that deserves your attention the most is the penal world, Virbos 6, one of the key mining suppliers in your protectorate. Never heard of that one. Such intriguing concern for Vibos 6 outpost. Doesn't your house happen to own the extraction stations there? Drivestem's beady eyes widen in fear. Your lordship, I beg of you, do not interpret my words as an attempt to influence your decisions in any way. You see, without Vibos 6, the manufactorums on your worlds will need to make haste to find new suppliers elsewhere and arrange for new shipments. And in these troubling times, they run the risk of delays and other most tragic mishaps. My only concern is for the prosperity of the von Valancius dynasty. I love it when you can call out their bullshit. I've already been to Kiava Gamma. The industrial world was overtaken by a cult of chaos worshippers. Drivestem pauses, mulling over the gravity of your words. Such woeful tidings, your lordship. I assume that House Gaprak is in for an official investigation. If I may remind you, they have particularly close ties to the Adeptus Mechanicus and serve as patrons of Kiava Gamma. Not to speak in the defence of criminals, your lordship, but from where I stand, the outbreak of heresy on Kiava could hardly have been perpetrated by a noble family who stands to lose the majority of their wealth should the industrial world fall. It's too early to draw any conclusions. We will wait for the results of the investigation. Most reasonable, your lordship. But what of the industrial world? Are we to expect trade to recommence? The production facilities of Kiava Gamma will serve humanity once more, rest assured. House Kaprak will be overjoyed to hear it. I thank you for dispelling the darkness around the fate of Kiava Gamma. I've already visited the Agriwald Janus. Governor Viat found herself facing a number of problems in my absence. Truly, the Viat line is one of the oldest in the von Valancius Protectorate, and I have ended it. And if the inheritor of such well-respected blood could not handle whatever had befallen her, then the situation must have been extraordinary indeed. Vistenza Viat is no longer in charge of the world. She is dead. I have delivered Janus into more capable hands. Drivestem's eyes open wide. The Viat line is broken? Such horrible news! Oh, it will shake many who were connected to the Viats and who are used to the immunity that comes with our class. That does it for the planets and the trade routes. What else? Xenos, your lordship. I don't rightly know where to begin. He rubs the bridge of his nose warily. Otherworldly beasts are not an uncommon sight in the Coronis expanse. They have been a menace to the worlds this side of the Maw for decades. But now those abominations are on the rampage. They show no signs of fear as they attack ships, either damaging them to the point where they become unfit for transport duty or outright gutting them. Only you have the power to stop this madness. Save us, you're our only hope. We are in the process of restoring the astropathic choir of Dargonus. Luckily, we were forced to slay only some of the deranged psychers, although those that remain are as yet unable to transmit messages. I hope Master Scalander will keep his word and offer you his support in the war against the Xenos. According to his reports, the region of Vibos 6 has been of particular concern in the last few cycles, which is all the more reason to discover the colony's fate as soon as possible. Okay, Blades in the Void. Now, to issues on a smaller scale. Oh, God. On a smaller scale, there is a certain degree of tension in the capital due to the unorthodox succession to the Sacred Warrant. Chances of uprisings are minimal, of course, and the spreading of rumours is nothing but a sign of weakness of mind and spirit. Nonetheless, I have prepared a list of major houses, or minor houses, that have demonstrated unseemly discomposure at your succession. What is to be done about them? List of minor houses. They're still nobles. Thing is, they could be a threat to me, and I kind of hate nobles. just in general. So eliminate the most prominent malcontents quietly, but do not threaten entire families. Hopefully these steps will be enough to keep the rest from causing any more trouble. Once your lordship's wrath descends upon the guilty, have no doubt there won't be a soul on Dargonus willing to share their fate. And one last thing, your lordship. Your inauguration as bearer of the sacred warrant is but a matter of time, and I would like to inquire about one crucial detail. I imagine you are intending to uphold the centuries-old tradition, bolstered by an equally long-lasting friendship, of being represented on Dargonus by one of the noble houses. I presume that, as before, this duty will be accorded to House Drivestem. Oh man, I want to give it to the Wissarians. One moment, which houses could represent me at the ceremony? Any of the noble houses located on Dargonus, the Drivestem family, which I lead, the Gaprak family with long ties to the Adeptus Mechanicus, the Sauerbachs, known for their piety and diligence in service. Perhaps I should also mention the Wissarians, who have some influence but who are not actually of noble origin. Any one of these houses would be honoured to represent you at this ceremony. I don't like Drivestem. I suppose I will bestow this honour upon the Wissarians. Abelard turns to you and bows respectfully. Lord Captain, to accompany you at such a critical hour is the greatest honour for the Wissarian bloodline. Have no fear, we will not fail you. Drivestem tosses Abelard a look that lacks even the smallest shred of respect. Forgive my boldness, but I must remind you that the Wissarians, whose lineage traces back to a navy officer, are not of the Dargonus nobility. Such decisions may have adverse effects on your subjects' loyalty, your lordship. You shouldn't have been late. Drivestem's face breaks into a bitter smile. I shall immediately relay your commands, most gracious rogue trader. Thank you for your time. Tell me about yourself and House Drivestem. It would be my pleasure to enlighten you. My house is the oldest and most respected on Dargonus. My ancestors walked side by side with yours for many generations as they cared for this world's welfare. Our duty is to supervise the governing bodies within the systems subservient to you, and we are responsible for the Protectorate's logistics and economic stability. As for me personally, I am a humble servant of the Emperor and a loyal subject of the rogue trader, and to my great pleasure I had the honour of calling myself Lady Theodora's close friend. At Urban's last words, Abelard lets out a sound that could be interpreted as either a snort or a cough. Urban gives him a look, which Abelard meets with an expression of utter nonchalance. I would like to complete my inauguration as rogue trader as soon as possible. When is the ceremony? I'm afraid that until you deal with pressing issues, the ceremony will have to be postponed. Many trade routes are still unavailable. The central worlds of the Von Valancius Protectorate are going through a crisis, and the warp disturbances, if void observers are to be believed, will prevent important guests from reaching the capital. That will be all, I take it. Thank you for your time, your lordship. Since duty calls, I shall take my leave. May the Emperor's grace be with you. Congrats on your promotion, Wissarian. Oh, okay. Stall the operation of the ministry. What? Oh. Okay, got that. I need to go to the administratum, yeah. I need to go to the bridge. Oh, I have new contracts. I can almost get the people. Okay, I need more people. Ooh. The hive world of Phalanx seeks to undermine the influence of the subsector's capital planet. The governor's agents seek rare and valuable minerals that will help Phalanx's industry to grow and prosper. That's a lot of adamantine. I'm not going to do it yet, just in case I need it. I want to go and talk to the other Wasarian. Actually, are these going to say anything now? Nope. While we're on Dargonis, I will check the Secretary's reports. Yeah. Quick save. Congrats on your promotion, Clementia. Your Lordship. Clementia looks away from her data slate. I hope your stay on Dargonis will be beneficial to your physical and mental state. I understand that the heir to a protectorate must have his hands full, but one shouldn't forget about rest. Okay. There's the door. Thing is, I'm just trying to think who I replace when I go in with my party. I think the person that I replace is Abelard. Because I need Pascal's tech use. It kind of sucks that I won't have a tank, but I'll just kill them with overwhelming fire. Considering I'll have 2 officers, so I just need a certain heavy bolter to stay alive. And she'll get so many extra turns. Wait. Oh, no. Long live the rogue trader. Hi, Argenta. Ooh, terrible news from Dargonis, Lord Captain. The subsidiary hive city, Scipion 84-249, has been destroyed in a series of cascading failures. Production has halted and millions of people have broken their vows of obedience and are fleeing. Many of them are perishing in the wastelands and overloading the transport lines leading to neighbouring hives. The surrounding residential sectors are becoming increasingly agitated by the influx of refugees. What is your directive regarding the distribution of these refugees? What was complacency again? Because it's affects the amount of profit factor produced by the colony and the speed of projects in the colony, increasing and decreasing them by 10% for each point of complacency, respectively. Yeah, so it increases profit factor but decreases speed. Wastelander's Prayer. Decreases enemy critical damage by 15%. Okay. Why is that times -1? Might all or x -1, maybe. If it's times -1, that's brutal. You're always going to have a negative. Oh God. What is the cause of the catastrophe? It is still unclear. The noble houses are throwing the blame at one another. Agents of the venerable Achilles Scalander, stationed on Scipion 84-249, have died heroically while trying to save the population from the disaster. Their latest reports mention some vulnerabilities in the industrial sectors of the lower hive, but do not go into further detail. Additionally, all of your servants are currently busy with investigating the causes of the crisis, but are not doing anything to deal with its consequences. What say my advisors? The death of Achilles' agents troubles me. It may not be a coincidence. Until the causes of the disaster can be concretely established, I would avoid letting refugees into other hives. There may be saboteurs among them. I recommend setting up a prohibitive cordons where the refugees can be contained in the wastelands between the hives. The Emperor bids us to face the often cruel strokes of fate with dignity. If the other hives do not wish to accept the unfortunate victims of this tragedy, then let the victims themselves teach those living in the hives a lesson in resilience and humility. I'm sure that the ecclesiarchy will aid the refugees in constructing camps to survive out in the wastelands and establish a community of proud desert-dwelling martyrs. Such harsh conditions will be a crucible of fortitude and fearlessness. This tragedy a feat of spirit. The noble houses are trying to wash their hands of this. How predictable. And yet, it is their duty to see that the planet meets its tithe obligation and bring glory and revenue to the treasury in your absence. Let the aristocrats take care of the refugees and make sure they don't stop until every last refugee has some task to fulfill. Will you lose security? Oh, that's better. The rogue trader gains +1 deflection and +3% hit chance. Refugees from the fallen hive toil without rest to prove that they deserve the honour of serving the Protectorate. These servants have now been tasked with maintaining the rogue trader's equipment in perfect condition, and they do so with painstaking care. Oh, I do like their crit. I have to go with efficiency, though. Argenta, see to it that the ecclesiarchy would not ignore the laments of the poor. He who dares to remain deaf to the pleas of the destitute shall be branded a traitor to the faith. Large labour settlements were set up around the ruins of Scipion 84-249, to where the refugees from the wastelands and neighbouring hives have been rounded up. In the harsh wastelands scorched with industrial poison, with only a bare modicum of food and clean water, the settlement residents began the arduous and dangerous task of rebuilding their fallen home. Many of the ecclesiarchy's priests sought to share in this burden with the poor souls coming from their villages and preaching to them about the righteousness of hard work. Some pastors have even chosen to stay in the camps permanently, where the desert cults of Aconite martyrs have begun to gather around them, glorifying the Lord Captain for granting them the right to suffer for the glory of the God Emperor. Okay. Projects. Ooh. That's pretty good. It reduces my profit factor, but I'm okay with that for all of this. +5 bonus to all skills. Ooh. Profit factor and complacency. Root cost. You get efficiency. Huh. Lose security. I just don't know what root cost does specifically. I have an idea, which is not what it actually does. I think it's either restoration or emporium. Because I do like all of these for all colonies. And it gets me people. I'm gonna do Emporium though. I'm a crime lord. I want everything. The surviving spine of Scipion 84-249 will be rebuilt into a space elevator. It will be capped by an emporium, accepting those ships that are too heavy to land on the surface. Go for it. People, provisions, efficiency, ashen breath. Ooh, it's a melter pistol. But it's two-handed. How is it a pistol shot? Zealot. Okay. Frag grenades. 18 to 4. Ooh. Whenever the wearer performs a heroic act, they recover all their wounds and gain plus 2 AP this turn. Holy shit. I don't care about that. Okay. I need to go to the Administratum, which means I need to take J. Oh, sorry, Abelard. I need Pascal. I need tech use, more orders and other fun stuff. You have to go. You're my healer. You're my best thing, best character. Yeah, let's go. Plus, I think taking Heinrichs might be good here as well. Quick save.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
What was that? My grandma came here every day, and every day she took a new ticket, but she never used any of them. I inherited one of those tickets. God Emperor, watch over my soul. Turn after turn, I'm going to pause it so they don't talk. Turn after turn, the unceasing stream of petitioners pours through the palace doors. The strong-willed wait patiently, while the weak-willed try everything they can to get ahead of the others. Yeah, they're not going to let you. I think that's how I'm going to have it. See, you're my tank now, Heinrichs. Good luck. Okay. Greeting protocol. Welcome to the Palace of the Adeptus Administratum. Identifying your lordship. Please follow me. Treat every citizen as a subject until you have proved they can be trusted. Yeah, you're fired.
Let us not dawdle.
I am the rogue trader. This door's slightly ajar. Okay, there's not many places I can actually go. Okay. I want to get through. There we go. Ooh, good. God damn it. It's a big ass door. Put it again.
I always keep my options open.
Master of Seals. That's who I want to talk to for Jay. He has a big ass quill. Inkwell of Livalia, the Impartial, first Master of Seals of the Coronis Expanse. Sacred Scroll, the 1005 admonitions of the Master of Inventory Avacillus to the Adepts of the Administratum. Okay. Let's talk to the Master of Seals. An ancient-looking woman in a voluminous robe peers out at you critically through her ocular lenses when you descend into the bowels of her bureaucratic domain. Another noble bypassing the queue under the pretext of "just wanted to ask." All you highborn ever want is just to ask. But what about protocol? That's what I'm asking. Who is going to follow protocol? Jay glances at you and whispers, "What? So I paid off a few clerks to let us skip the queue, Shireen. Your time is more important to me than any little formalities." "Very well, don't just stand there. You're here now. Or do you think the Master of Seals has nothing better to do than receive unexpected visitors?" The old woman beckons over a servo skull floating nearby. "Begin entry. Current hour. Current turn. Current cycle. 41st millennium." Metal manipulators immediately begin feverishly clacking, taking dictation. "Don't you want to know who I am?" Zera von Valancius, sole heir of rogue trader Theodora von Valancius. May the throne's radiance guide her path on the other side. In a practice move, the Master of Seal twists her magnifying ocular lens and examines the ledger in front of her, the sole person to publicly assert their claim, to be precise. The colourless eyes of the Master of Seals suddenly fix on Cassia, a lady navigator of House Orcelio whose name and deeds are unknown to me. She points her finger at the old ledger. "It says here that the von Valancius dynasty has owed your house 1 gold throne for 30 cycles. Here, take this, and I, at last, will mark the matter closed." Cassia stares in puzzlement at the gleaming coin in her hand. House Orcelio thanks you for your services, Master of Seals." The old woman smacks her lips in satisfaction and nods curtly. "Of course I know who's standing before me. It is my job to know." Jade shifts, deliberately putting her jeweled automatic on display. "Does that mean that my reputation has preceded me as well, esteemed Damar?" "No, I have received no reports about you." "What is this place?" The Master of Seals raises her eyebrows in surprise. "You are in the very heart of the palace of the Adeptus Administratum. Day and night, hundreds of thousands of prefects, ordinates, scribes, servants, and servitors carry out their duties to humanity and the von Valancius dynasty here, never setting foot outside its boundaries for decades at a time. But knowledge comes through comparison. There are entire worlds belonging to the Administratum, so this palace is but a humble cog in the blessed machine of the Imperium. Tell me about yourself." "I am the law." "I am the law." Okay, Master of Dread. "And I oversee order in this section of the Coronis Expanse, as well as on worlds of the von Valancius Protectorate, in accordance with ancient covenants made with your ancestors. I hold the power to grant petitioners what they seek and to punish criminals for failing to carry out the Imperium's will." Jay continues in a whisper. "She's ancient enough herself. Look at her. She's a bona fide living mummy. Tell me about the work of the Adeptus Administratum." The Master of Seals tuts in displeasure. "One would think the Protectorate's heir has no care for his tongue if he is so willing to wag it to the point of blistering. However, I, despised servant of the Emperor that I am, do not possess the gift of unallocated time. Let us proceed to the matter of your application. My companion wishes to obtain Mercatum Tabula Officiale." The Master of Seals peers over her ocular lenses at Jay in disbelief. Then she looks at you. "I take it you are her sponsor. In that case, you must submit a written application in conformity with template hash 404-01 or .01, as well as written permission for the processing and notarization of the personal data of your most sacred personage. Without it, I cannot issue Mistress Haydari. Mistress Haydari, the form of collecting the seals required to obtain the Mercatum Tabula Officiale, the certificate of an official trade representative. At these words, the saccharine smile drops from Jay's face. Seals? What seals? We will discuss that when Zera von Valancius has prepared the primary documentation. You handle the paperwork on my behalf, I will pay. No, I'm not going to do the first three, because she's the law. There are things you have to do. So complete application form 404.01. The perfectly sharpened quill scratches pleasantly on the parchment, but for the first few minutes, the obfuscatory phrasing, footnotes, amendments, you are forced to write out the same details over and over about you, the Protectorate, Theodora von Valancius, J, then also every living person who bears your family name. If you do not know all the required information, you must complete supplementary forms. 6 days later, probably. The Master of Seals nods in approval and stows the scroll into a tube labelled with your name. Next is the consent form for the processing and notarization of the personal data of your most sacred personage. Give your written consent on the presented form. I don't want to annoy her. The scroll is whipped away into another tube by the Master of Seals. Protocol executed. Application received, processed, approved. The servo scribe taps out each word after its mistress's pronouncement. Come on, esteemed Damar. What's that you were saying about seals? The old woman unhurriedly holds out a printed scroll to Jay. Here is your document, Mistress Haydari. Unfortunately, it does not yet have legal force. I can certify it as a sacred Mercatum Tabula Officiale once it has received 2 seals of approval. They are easy to obtain. In the Imperium Court Administratum, servitors have been handling such tasks for over 150 cycles. There is one such servitor here on Dargonus in the Rogue Trader's Palace. The second is duty-bound to keep the seal in the Telecos Epsilon system. Find Administratum servitors and have them place 2 seals of approval. The goal is clear. The Master of Seals nods with satisfaction. Please do return once you have prepared the documents. End dialogue. The thing is, I'm hoping that getting her that thing will maybe unlock me being able to trade with people without being in the system that they're in or going to them. Like going back to Footfall to talk to Opticon 2-2. So where am I? Must be kept by one of the officials there. Oh, it's on Janus? Okay. Master of Seals recommended requesting one of the seals in the Rogue Trader's Palace. Clementia Wersarium must be in charge of... Okay. Turn to the ship and immediately go back to the planet. Have a chocolate. My reward. Immediately go to Dargonus. This is all working. Von Valancius Palace. I'll take J, why not? Come on. Then we immediately not in a party. Oh, Clementia. Or Clementia. I'm going to say Clementia still. Oh, Jay's already there. Jesus. Mistress Haydari, my patience is not easily exhausted, but you are coming very close. I shall repeat myself again. No, I will not be issuing you any seal, not in exchange for your honest word, nor for a bribe. What about for me? I can see the family resemblance with Abelard now. You cannot see farther than your own nose, my dear Clementia. It wasn't a bribe, it was a gift. Now about that seal. You couldn't just wait, Jay. This doesn't feel worthy. Let the rogue trader decide. Your lordship, I apologize for this ugly scene, but might I ask that you rein in Mistress Haydari and put a stop to her inflammatory actions toward me? As the Exalted One is my witness, Shireen, I've tried everything I could except the ad break. So I will wait. Doo-doo-doo. Today has seemed to have flown by. It doesn't feel like it's been 3 hours already. I suppose it's because I haven't run into any bugs yet today during the playthrough. I like it how Adira's carrying 2 staffs. Or 2 staves. Almost there, and as the Exalted One is my witness, Shireen, I've tried everything I could to spare you any unnecessary headache over the seals for the Macatum Tabula Official. I even showed this aide with the temper worse than the sandstorm the certificate with your signature, but your Chancellor merely kept batting me away with her flail of baseless denials. I suspect that the reason for this has nothing to do with my humble personage. Purple! Or pink, rather. Clementia purses her lips and glowers at Jay. Oh no, this isn't about me at all. Jay narrows her eyes as she peers into Clementia's face until the latter finally looks away. I see. Well, Chancellor, will you tell us yourself, or should I help you? Whatever is the matter, Mistress Versarion. I am afraid that my words may anger your lordship. Clementia lowers her head in shame as if offering it up to be removed from her shoulders. The seal you are looking for was lost over a quarter of a century ago. Her Ladyship Theodora von Valancius ordered a new one to be delivered from the Imperium, but as you well know, we are a long way away from Holy Terror, and with warp storms ravaging the Coronis expanse, we've been unable to receive a replacement to this day. Give Clementia the seal with the winter scale coat of arms. Could this be the seal in question? This is, without a doubt, the Administratum seal from Winterscale's realm. But why is it the original, not a copy? Ah, I think I understand. Well, the laws of the Imperium do not prohibit heirs of other houses from using the seal in times of need. I will order to have servants of the machine cult create a duplicate so as to avoid such embarrassing predicaments in the future. There is something I must discuss with the Chancellor in private. Oh, by all means, Shireen, I dare not waste any more of the precious balm that is your time on matters related to me, if I may excuse myself. I must take my leave. I am at your service at any time, day or night, your lordship. You're also pink. Why? So we've got one seal then, right? Oh, okay. Fine. Let's go back to the Master of Seals. Wait, actually. Maybe I'll just go to the seal on Janus first and get that over and done with. Unless anything else is going to happen. Oh, wait a minute. Didn't I get some torpedo tubes? Void ship management. I did. Let's go on the prow. It's the short range. 4 shots dealing 14 damage. That's the big laser, which does more damage than the 4 shots, but it means it could miss, but it's also long range. Type, that's better. Okay. To the void ship. And then we're gonna go to Giannis. I think. Oh wait, didn't I get some extractiums? I did. Phlogister, yes please. Nice, because I was missing some of this now. Gas Giant I can't get anything from, I don't think. Lava World, can't get anything from. Okay. Chart new routes. Ooh. Oh, that's Viabos. There was Langren's something. Langren's belt. I've not been this way yet. So let's connect them up safely. Chart new routes. Well, that goes up there as well, okay. Let's visit, because there might be more resources. Oh Jesus, quite a lot here. Quick save, because I haven't in a while, I don't think. Starship remains. Huh? Oh, found 20 scrap. Okay. This is like, yes, they're gone. What? I'm like, what? Begin scan. Valley of Sleep. The crew has discovered a hidden valley littered with thousands of animal skeletons. Auger data suggests that some kind of sleeping gas vents here. It's likely the animals either don't realize that they are headed for a deadly trap, or even come here to die on purpose. Ooh, study the gas. Yay! After a series of experiments, the ship's weaponsmiths managed to perfect a few different types of ammunition. Cool. Is this a gas giant? Maybe? Yes, so nothing. A Hulk? The augurs have detected wreckage in the void ship's vicinity, but the exact nature of this wreckage remains unclear. Look for the source of the wreckage. Okay, continue on your voyage. I wonder if that's a time-based thing. Ooh, this could be adamantine, maybe? Oh, plasteel. I have enough plasteel right now. Ice World. Smuggler's cash. Don't mind if I do. All mine. Think that. Okay. Then I'm going to make it a safe route down to Langren's Belt, because I got told about some pirates down there, but I'm fairly sure I've already been here. Ravaged Void Station. Let's make it safe. And then I'm going to head to Giannis. Right after I check this out. Oh, Explorator Void Station. I think I gave them a bunch of fuel before. There is a lot of plasteel. know what? I'll use one extractium. It's fine. I want to check out colony management though. You're still working. You're still working. You're still working, but getting closer, you're still working. Already explored it. Never mind. Langren's Belt. Oh wait, I think I know what they were. 6 plasteel. 5 provisions. I need provisions. Isn't this the Pilgrim? No. Oh well, I'm going to take J. Why not? Plundered Void Station. I know I've been here before. I just can't remember what exactly it was. Because it wasn't the Recologies, I think they were called. I've already gone through. Oh, it was this. I remember. Because I went through this area and just annihilated them all very quickly. It was like 3 different encounters in one. But I had an Argenta. Okay. A good quality of life thing that they should add to this screen is if I've put an extractium there, just put the little symbol of the extractium. So at a glance I can figure out where I need to go. I wish it would link up so I didn't have to keep going. Whoop. It was safe. Lord Captain, urgent report. We have received an astropathic message from Regent Aronto Orselio. The navigators are concerned about the fate of Cassia, who disappeared from Urak 5. The Regent is requesting an update on her current status, and he has also inquired about the possibility of a personal meeting to negotiate and to arrange the return of the Lady Navigator to her house. The psycho-emotional coding of the received message betrays acute concern, but it also contains something that the astropaths have failed to put into words. If you'll excuse my forthrightness, I feel it is necessary to tell House Orselio the truth, otherwise a conflict with the Navis Nobilite is possible, which, given the current state of the Coronis Expanse, will only play into the hands of the enemies of the Imperium. How did House of Orselio even learn that I have Cassia? I wish I knew, Lord Captain. It is troubling indeed. Perhaps we have a spy on board, or Regent Aronto is bluffing. In either case, I believe we should respond. Navigators are extremely powerful and useful allies to have. Tell House Orselio that Cassia is safe and that the rogue trader would be honoured to meet in person. I'll see to it, Lord Captain. The astropaths will transmit your consent. Representatives of House Orselio will be waiting for you on the capital world of Dargonus. Receiving members of the Navis Nobilite is always a delicate matter. Please make sure to discuss the details of this meeting with your Chancellor upon arrival. Oh, she's gonna love me. Space combat is available in this system? See what? Where? I already have that. But everything's dead. Unless there are hidden places. Okay, I'm kind of confused. I also love how it casts a shadow. It's such a simple thing, but it kind of makes sense. Granted, this scale is really, really wrong, but... Okay, let's go to Janus. So this is Janus, right? Oh, let's start going. Why did it move me up there? Janus. Warp travel. Let's just see if there's any updates on this. Oh, I can now do these. It'll give provisions. Oh, I have more. No, I thought I had more adamantine. I don't. Let's just go straight to Janus. Rebel base. Go to Vyat's estate. I'll take Jay along. Sure. Whenever a character performs a melee attack, they gain plus 10 weapon skill and plus 20% critical hit chance for each ally adjacent to the target of this attack. Oh yeah, outnumbering them.
Keep your wits about you.
I want to be over here. You there, you there. Sure, let's do that. Formation's going to be all wrong, though. Actually, not as wrong as I thought it would be. I always have to swap at least 2 characters. I suppose that makes sense because it's swapping. Of course, it's going to be 2
Always
characters.
keep your eye on the price.
Oh, Attilius Quint might know. There you are. Attilius Quint nervously tugs at the hem of his dusty cloak and bows respectfully. Your lordship, the subjects of Janus welcome you. What cares have brought you to our humble world on this occasion? I require a seal to certify a Mercatum Tabula Officiale. The secretary nods energetically. Of course, it would be an honour to assist the rogue trader. Wait but a few minutes, your lordship, and your humble servant will have your seal ready. Hi, Puncher. Let's go! Let's go where? Third favourite background noise streamer. Thank you! I made the podium. Yes! Jay's expression is pensive as she twists a lock of her hair around her metal finger. Interesting, Shireen. I assumed we would be dealing with servitors, but no, some places in your domain still have this work being performed by people of flesh and blood. I beg your pardon? What's this about servitors? I have faithfully performed my sacred duties to the Imperium and the Administratum all my life, and guarding the seals is part of that. And after half a century, not a single seal damaged. I keep them in a special case and I oil the handles every month, as the rules stipulate. Jay shrugs. I am merely repeating the word of the Master of Seals on Dargonus. Servitors have replaced an entire category of lowly bureaucrats assigned to the Von Valancius planets. Oh, around 10 years ago now. But after 70 years of service and not a single directive? Not from Holy Terror or from Dargonus? A complete breakdown in communication. What a farce. What an insult to all processors. Scarlet patches blossom on the Secretary's pale face. But this is easily remedied. If the Administratum requires such a servant, then I will immediately begin preparation for servitorization. The will of the Lex Imperialis is supreme. Jay nervously licks her lips. She clearly did not expect this response to her remark. Attilius, I do not think the Exalted One has any particular desire to see you lobotomized and turned into a mindless clanking ghoul just because someone somewhere changed the law. Oh my god, you get a penalty to try and persuade him because it's breaking the law. Damn. I'm gonna go for Iconoclast. I kinda want this. You can serve humanity while remaining as you are. Could a servitor replace a true administrative officer who is passionate about his work? After lots of prevarication, Attilius's hunched figure sags. Of course you are right. I will continue to serve Janus and the Von Valancius Protectorate as before, and today I will dispatch a request for copies of edicts issued by the Imperium over the last 50 years. Who knows what else we have missed here on Janus? Jay lets out a breath, obviously relieved. That is wonderful, Attilius. Just wonderful. Just don't go poking at your eyes with a long needle, at least until you receive a direct order to do so from your precious Administratum. Here you are, the Secretary proffers the sealed certificate with care, and may the Emperor bless your path. How are things on Janus? Hey, besides the Xenos that have settled in our forests and periodically frighten the people, everything is calm, your lordship. We have managed to come to an understanding of sorts, although not without concessions on our part, in particular regarding the placement of our new agri-complexes. The Emperor as my witness, Janus will continue to serve the Von Valancius dynasty, but not in precisely the same way as before. I appreciate the local species. Oh yes, the flora of Janus can take your breath away, while the fauna can inadvertently kill you. I must take my leave. Janus is always honoured to receive your lordship. Bye-bye now. That's all I
Rise to
came
the
here
top,
for.
or get left in the dust.
Okay, back to Dargonus and the Administratum. Yeah. Warp travel. Warp travel. Colony Janus has begun a new stage of development. To the colony. I bring woeful news, Lord Captain. Prelate Hectarchius of the Order of the Hammer has passed away. Immediately after the launch of the orbital Vox Spire, he entered the halls of recording and, having sat on the command throne, was granted a vision. For over 3 days, Prelate Hectacius preached about Saint Cognatius being reincarnated in a body made from the saint's own holy relics. This spiritual feat depleted Prelate Hectacius' strength, and he peacefully departed for the Emperor's throne shortly after the sermon's conclusion. The Order's elders believe this to be a sign that St. Cognatius's relics, currently stored on the planets throughout the expanse, must be brought together. The Order is preparing for the election of a new prelate, under whose guidance it will undertake this holy mission. The majority of the votes are divided between Prioress Lugnalia, well known for her fervour, and the merciful Celara Tychon. The minority of the Order sees the Oikonomus Nigmus, a humble and reasonable man, as their prelate. Does Prelate Hectacius' death not strike you as odd? I'm afraid it does not. The esteemed Hectacius began his service as a battle missionary, and has long grown weary of the peaceful life befitting a man of his status. He yearned for a worthy spiritual feat, and, when presented with the chance to serve as the voice of a saint, he gave what little strength remained. When he died, he was exhausted, but content. How does the Order intend to carry out St. Cognatius' mission? The Conclave aims to procure all the relics that once belonged to St. Cognatius, all that can possibly be procured. Given that the saint is a legendary figure, many items in the Coronis Expanse have an alleged connection to him. However, it seems unlikely that any of the relics' owners will be eager to part with them. The answer to the question of how the Order of the Hammer is going to retrieve them depends on the identity of its next prelate. I wish to know more about the candidates. Prioress Lugnalia was converted by Hectacius on one of the heathen worlds. She then served as his bodyguard for many years and eventually became the protector of the Order's reliquary and the leader of its military branch. As for Brother Tychon, he is an aristocrat by birth. He had an excellent education and could have lived in luxury had he not renounced secular life for the sake of ascetic vows. He is intelligent, thoughtful, well-read, and most importantly, genuinely merciful. Few things can be said about the Oikonomus Nigmus. He has never been famous for his prowess in battle or his sermons, but the monastery has never wanted for anything on his watch. He is a most reasonable and unobtrusive individual. Okay. Do you give Profit Factor an influential servant? At the start of each battle, the Rogue Traders party gains +10 momentum. What will my companions say? I have sympathy for Prioress Lugnalia. Let her meet with Reverend Hieronymus on footfall. Should he accept her as a worthy leader, we ought to support her. A careful and sensible Oikonomus sounds like a safer bet to me than a fanatic or clever aristocrat. The voices say that he has a few paltry secrets, and knowledge of those secrets guarantees us his loyalty. Brother Tychon, he and I have met back when he was called Tychon Drivestem. He wasn't a monk back then. He was a grandson and heir to Urban, the governor of Dargonus, an honourable young man with a spark in his eyes. His ascension would mean much to the Drivestems. Ooh, more RP. Ooh, security. I did piss off the Drivestems, but it doesn't give me anything. So, do I get... It might do later on, though. But I do like this. It just means I can do heroic acts quicker. Ah. Idera uncovers some of Nigmus's little secrets. I need an obedient prelate. The voices will tell me where to look. Profit factor as well, yay! Brother Nigmus has been chosen as the prelate of the Order of the Hammer. His careful policy is far more oriented towards satisfying the rogue trader than successfully collecting St. Cognacius's relics. Idiri's investigation uncovered no egregious crimes in Nigmus's past, but it did reveal a few minor but less than virtuous faults. The new prelate will agree to anything to keep his secrets hidden. Nah. Your lordship, Yanis is reporting about a disaster. Ghostly Xenos figures that appear at dusk and go away at dawn. In a ravenous swarm, they attack one agricultural facility each night, freezing everything they touch. The attacks take place in the complexes closest to the uncontrolled sector of the planet, where nature itself has turned against us. What do we know about these wraiths? Not much. They are incorporeal and difficult to discern, but they happen to have Eldari features. The spirits draw the warmth out of humans, plants, and inanimate objects, but it seems they do not hunt consciously, but rather they simply do not notice anything in their way. At dawn they dissolve into mist. The wraiths also differ among themselves. Some are as dark as the void, and others shine like the stars in the night sky. What is spawning these wraiths? Is it the corrupted sector? It is likely. They gather at its borders and at the break of dawn, and whirl in a wild dance, howling and destroying all living things, then disperse into thousands of fading flashes. The agricultural facilities that happen to be in the way of their dance fall into disrepair. Something is not right. The wraiths appear on the planet's outskirts and rush toward the heart of the contaminated region, instead of invading from within it. Furthermore, their differences may suggest that there are two groups of wraiths opposing each other. What think my advisors? When dealing with Xenos, one should be prepared for the manifestation of all sorts of ominous mysteries. There is a whole cast of specialists among the cold traders who can whisper at Xeno artifacts to expel the spirits residing within. Perhaps we should ask them. After some of the events that had taken place on the ship, I got interested in ghosts. While on footfall, I bought a book, an illegal one of course, that describes a so-called ritual of silence. It is said to be able to pacify violent spirits on the scale of an entire world, but I cannot vouch for the safety of this ritual. Instead of relying on the wicked ways to solve these problems, it would be better to turn to our good priests. There are skilled exorcists in the ecclesiarchy who know how to drive out dark spirits. What do we get? Spirit Drape. Oh, first turn in combat? No thank you. Strange Shard. 10 Law Warp and 15 Law Xenos. Oh, that's pretty good. But I lose security. Mysterious Sliver. Whenever the wearer uses a major psychic power, they gain a bonus to all psychic power damage until the end of their next turn. I lose complacency. I like the Strange Shard. Okay. I hope this will not beget more serious problems. Let us take our chances. At the appointed time, dozens of psychers around Yanis started a ritual known as the Ritual of Silence. It surprisingly did not cause any sort of catastrophe, visible to the naked eye at least. An invisible force pushed the wraiths away from the man-made structures, stopped their horrifying dance, and shielded the Lord Captain's subject from the rampage of the Xenos. Okay, crisis averted. Hammer of Epiphany. All damage dealt when this power pushes an enemy is increased by 100%. Okay. Crusade. Ooh. Rogue Trader gains a +10 bonus to all characteristics during warp encounter battles. the retinue. Oh. The Rogue Trader and their allies gain plus 20% damage against demons. Rogue Trader and their allies gain plus 20% damage against demons. Another one? Oh, the player character as well. Okay. I can't get that because it's locked, and I can't get this because it's locked. So I have to get this. Bonfires of Righteousness and Good Tidings. Well, in that case... Oh, this one I can technically do. But this blocks it. So which do I prefer? The charge ability grants additional damage equal to the wearer's willpower bonus against demons and Xenos. That's a lot of complacency. That's a lot of everything. Yeah, go for a shrine. That's a foul stone. God. Oh, we got melee. So I can't get these because it's blocked by forest fortresses. So now I can do this, all this. Eyes of Joyous. The wearer's psi rating is increased by +1 against demons and for each rank of dogmatic. Okay, so that's, I think, gonna be for Heinrichs. And it's not blocked by anything. So I'm going to do a cure for sloth first, actually. Nah, I want the item. Even though this is for all colonies. Weapons and efficiency. Mag trains. Mechanisms of... Okay. I think I can... No, blocks project vigil of the tech guards. So these two I... Right, okay. These two don't get blocked. And I think I'm going to go for efficiency. Okay. And Dargonus has finished the Emporium. So now we can look at this. This gives people... Okay. Crit chance against pirates. Pirates. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. I don't even have the adamantine, even though it says I do. I do on here. Master Raider. Ooh, escort ship. Ooh. Loose security. Oh, that's the reward. Never mind. This is requirements. Shield of the Emperor. It blocks. Okay, so I think it's... Oh, these two block each other as well. And these two block each other. These don't block anything. And I'd rather get more scrap. So, filth of the expanse. More and more ships arrive in orbit around Argonis. The reduction of duties and the reining in of customs will allow the black market to flourish, able to compete directly with footfall. Execute. I'm glad I went and got the provisions. Okay. So let us quickly... Actually, I'm going to run out of time. So I'll get back to the system. But then I think I'm going to end the stream there because I've got like 8 minutes before I'd normally finish. So we will pick this up tomorrow. Well, I've still not decided if I'm going to play tomorrow. Because I might move to that 4 days of one game, 3 days of another over the weekend schedule. I'll maybe decide tonight. We'll see. But for now, I am going to save. And then do my usual quick save to make sure. And then, I have 62 profit factor. I'll find someone to raid. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. And all the lurking too. I really appreciate it. We are going to go... Well, we've been doing some space stuff, so let's go and raid FG. She's building Lego, and I think it's space stuff. Yes. So let's go and raid FG. It's always a fun time. And yeah, I will be back tomorrow, maybe with this, maybe with not. We'll see. But I hope you all have a great rest of the day. And bye.